Guys, it's Sarah, and today we are going to check in on my most anticipated reads for the first half of the year and see how many I've read. I'm looking at my list. It's interesting. So I feel like I started out really, really strong and then life happened. So, but let's go through them. We're going to go through January through June and just see what I have read already and what I still need to read. Okay, January, I actually have read all of the books that I was anticipating, and there were 5 of them. But I read 4. That's because The Bride Bet by Tessa Dare never came out. So I wasn't surprised by that. That is a book that has just been teasing us for a couple of years now. I don't know if this book's ever going to come out. I don't know what's going on with it. I can't find any news about why we keep getting dates and then it never actually comes out. So I have no idea what's happening with that series. So that's fine. And then the first one that was my most anticipated is Sanctuary of the Shadow by Aurora Asher. And that one I actually DNF'd, but I did start it. I got a little bit into it. I just really wasn't feeling the writing. So I DNF'd that one. But I did read The Fury by Alex Michaelides, which was 5 stars. I read Only If You're Lucky by Stacey Willingham, which was 4 stars, and House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, which was 4 stars. So those were all the books in January that I was anticipating. 1 never came out, 1 was a DNF, and then the other 3 I read. For February, I only had 1, which was The Women by Kristen Hanna, which was a 5 stars, and still currently the best book I've read of the entire year. And then we're going to get into March a little bit. Okay, March, I had 3. I did read Coyote Lost and Found by Dan Gaiman Hart, which is the second book in the Coyote Sunrise middle grade series, and I gave it 2 stars. I did not like it. And then I had Murder Road by Simone St. James, which I have not read, and Empire of the Damned by Jay Kristoff, which was the second book in the Empire of the Vampire series, which I have not read yet either. And then all the rest I have not read. So just a quick recap for April, I had 4, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, which actually by the time this goes up, I probably would have read that already. I'm planning to read it this week. But as of the time that I'm sitting down here right now and filming, I haven't read it yet. But by the time this video goes out, I probably would have. So yeah, that's the plan. As of right now, I can't say that I've read it, but by the time this goes out, I should have read it. I have the audiobook of it right now for my library, and there's a time limit, so I gotta make sure I get that read while I have my hands on it, right? Okay, also in April, The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, have not read that one. Funny Story by Emily Henry, haven't read that one. Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose, have not read that one. So I haven't read most of them for April, with the exception of probably Abby Jimenez. So there's that. Okay, for May, there was only 1, The Guncle Abroad by Stephen Rowley. Have not read that yet either. And then for June, The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center, Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and Shadow Heart by Meg Gardner. And I just have not read any of those 3 either yet. So it's funny because I was thinking about doing this video and I was like, I think I've done pretty good. And then I printed it out. I was like, well, I started good. But the good thing about my most anticipated books this year is that I have really condensed it down. I would have like 6 or 7 or 8 books before every month. And number 1, that's hard for me to keep up on because that's kind of my entire reading month. And I don't want my entire reading to be nothing but new releases. I want to be reading the books off my shelves as well. And number 2, I was definitely putting some debut authors on there and authors I've never read before, even if they're not debuts. And I was getting a little burnt by that. I was reading some things I really wasn't enjoying. So I'm starting to get much better about the books that I'm really anticipating and books I'm planning to buy and read for sure for favorite authors, like Riley Sager. He is a favorite author of mine. I still have a little bit more of him to read, but I definitely want to get his new book and I definitely planning to read it this year. So, things like that. So I'm trying to keep it a little bit more condensed to very specific guidelines for myself for my most anticipated. And I will say, I think it's worked out a little bit better because even though I started out really strong, then I kind of tapered off, but starting out this year was much better than last year, for sure. Number 1, I was able to get to more things. And number 2, I was enjoying things a lot more. So there's that. Okay. So that is my progress so far. I definitely plan to read quite a few of these. I don't know that I'll read every single anticipated release. That would be nice. it would be nice. But we're just going to see how the rest of the year goes as far as my reading goes. But that's how it is as of right now. All right. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have read any of these books on here, or did any of them that I haven't read yet go, why haven't you read that, Sarah? Get on it. Let me know. And I will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.